Dogworks Radio is sponsored by Alaska Dog Works. Check out their website at alaskadogworks.com. You can support this podcast on patreon.com/firstpawmedia.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by First Paw Coffee Company, specializing in private label premium blend coffee. If you're serious about coffee, you should check it out. First Paw Coffee's passion is high-quality, small-batch roasted coffee. They take the extra time to taste and get everything perfect before they release new blends. They aim to bring you a cup of happiness each time you pour yourself some coffee. Find out more at ak.dog/free and enter for a chance to win some First Paw Coffee prizes, a book from our collection, and tote bag. One winner will be selected at random each month. That's ak.dog/free.
Warm weather means cookouts, pool parties, and long days spent outdoors. While most dogs love to spend time outside, there are safety precautions to keep in mind before planning your next backyard barbecue bash. Keep these 5 tips in mind to ensure you and your dog will have a stress-free summer cookout.
From First Paw Media, sponsored by Alaska Dog Works Professional Canine Training Center in Anchorage, Alaska. This is Dogworks Radio, committed to families and their dogs to build lifelong and fulfilling relationships. Visit our website at dogworksradio.com. Now here are your hosts, Robert and Michele Forto.
Hello and welcome to Dogworks Radio. This is your host, Michele Forto, and I am the lead trainer of Alaska Dogworks, where we help owners and their dogs have better relationships. On today's show, we are talking about summer barbecues, our furry companions, and a few safety tips. If you stick around until the end, we're going to talk about robotic seeing eye dogs too. Sit back and enjoy the podcast. Here are the 5 safety tips for enjoying backyard barbecues with your dogs. Number 1, make sure your dog can't escape. It only takes one guest to leave a door or gate open for your pet to get loose. Make sure visitors know you have a dog, and if people are coming and going frequently, consider putting your dog on a lead or in a bedroom or a crate. For any dog, it's always a good idea to give your dog some private space to retreat to in case they get overwhelmed. Be proactive and give your dog intentional breaks. Put your dog's bed or crate in a quiet area of the home separate from the gathering. Puzzle toys or food stuffed toys can keep your dog occupied. This is an especially good idea if you are going to be distracted and not able to give full attention to your dog, such as when you are putting food on the grill. Number 2, keep your dog cool. If your party is outdoors, be sure your pet has plenty of water and access to shade. On especially hot days, it may be best to leave your dog inside. If he starts showing signs of heat stroke, which is restlessness or agitation with vigorous panting or bright red gums, bring him to a cooler area and contact your veterinarian immediately. Swimming and water games can be a great way to keep your dog cool. If your pup does decide to join in on swimming, follow safety protocols and make sure they are supervised at all times. Number 3, avoid table scraps. Remind your guests not to give your dog any people food. Barbecued food especially can be greasy and upset your pet's stomach. Keep an eye on the food tables to make sure your dog does not grab anything, but more importantly, certain foods such as onion, avocados, grapes, and raisins can be toxic. If you're uncertain if a food is safe for a dog or not, check out the full list of cookout foods on alaskadogworks.com. It's a good idea to make sure your dog eats before your barbecue starts so your pup will be less tempted by hunger. If your pup is feeling left out while everyone else enjoys their meal, treat them to some barbecue flavored dog treats. You can find our recommendations on our website. Number 4, fan the flame. Safety first, guys. Keep your dog away from the grill while you are using it. The open flame is very dangerous. Your dog should not be allowed near the grill even after you have finished cooking, as it stays hot for a while. This shouldn't be a problem if your dog is trained to stay away from the grill or if your grill is in an area inaccessible to your dog. I want to give a note here as well that any of those fire pits that you guys have, or even those solo stoves, we want to make sure that the dogs are not in the vicinity of those open flames and those fire pits as well. Number 5, prevent panic. Many summer holidays call for fireworks or other loud noises, much to the dismay of our skittish four-legged friends. Remember that dogs don't understand those loud explosions are only for fun. Many dogs each year run away from home after being spooked by these loud sounds. Playing recordings of fireworks accompanied by treats in months ahead can help desensitize dogs to the sound of fireworks. Otherwise, confine in a safe place. Offer him treats during the show and or talk to your veterinarian about medication options. We also have an entire episode about 4th of July over on our podcast station at dogworksradio.com. Be sure to go check that podcast out as well. I'm going to take a short break here, and when we come back, we're going to learn all about those robotic guide dogs. Yes, they might actually become a thing.
So earlier you learned about First Paw Coffee Company, and now I'm going to tell you about its Tail Wagger Blend. First Paw Coffee Company's Tail Wagger Blend is their first offering, and its name and label were crowdsourced from their Facebook fans. How cool is that? The Tail Wagger Blend is a private label premium blend that was developed just for them. It is a medium roast from Colombian beans with tastes of Brazil nuts, grapefruit, and oak. Be sure to go to ak.dog/free and enter to win a bunch of cool prizes. That's ak.dog/free.
Okay, you guys, this is pretty cool. A student at Loughborough University has designed a robotic guide dog that could help support visually impaired people who are unable to house a real animal. Designed by Anthony Camus, the product replicates the role of a guide dog as well as programming quick and safe routes to destinations using real-time data. Camus, who is a final year industrial design and technology student, said he was inspired by virtual reality gaming consoles to create the prototype named Thea, after the Titan goddess of sight. Thea is a portable and concealable handheld device that guides users through outdoor environments and large indoor spaces with very little input. Using a special control moment gyroscope, or CMG, the device moves users' hands and physically leads them similarly to holding the brace of a guide dog. According to Camus, the device is designed to process real-time online data such as traffic density, like pedestrians and cars, weather, to guide users accurately and safely to their destinations. The device will also be able to help the user tackle specific interactions such as elevators, stairs, and shops. Furthermore, it will also have a fail-safe procedure for high-risk scenarios such as crossing busy roads, pushing the user back into a manual mode similar to using a cane. Camus said that the goal of many non-sighted people is to be independent and live a normal life, but unfortunately, many who endure vision loss feel excluded from situations and activities which many people take for granted, such as socializing, shopping, or going to restaurants. He added that such limitations are usually formed due to the fear and anxiety associated with having a partial understanding of the surroundings. Thea has the capacity to expand a blind person's comfort zones and possibilities, broaden their horizons, and allow them to think less about walking and more about what's waiting for them at the end of the route, he added. The ultimate goal is that Thea's users can traverse routes safely and efficiently at the same pace as or even faster than ordinary people without the worry and hassle of visualizing the environment. Camus has successfully created prototypes that feature the CMG technology, and although the project is still in its infancy, he says the potential is there. I know this is a grand vision, but I hope people can see the positive effects Thea could have on the blind community, he said. So I pose a question to you. Do you think that this device will eventually replace a seeing eye dog? If so, what about the natural bond, trust, and relationship that develops between the dog and his handler? Is it worth it to lose all of that? I'm just thinking about the character from Star Trek, and his name just escaped me, so I know a lot of you rabid listeners will know exactly who I'm talking about. But on Star Trek Next Generation stuff, he's blind. Lamar Burton plays his character, and they give him a visor, and that visor is a computer, and then he's able to see things, not like you and I do, not like Google glasses either, but kind of like the way Camus is describing here in this interview, is that it kind of works like that. So I'm just curious as if we will move from a dog and into an actual visor in the near future that will help those that are visually impaired see better or even see at all. Kind of cool to contemplate, right? So let me know in the comments section of this podcast or video and on our social channels. Just search DogWorks Radio. And one last thing, can you do me a favor and let your friends and family know all about our show? It's the best thing you can do for me. Maybe they'll check it out too. And then you guys can have a conversation about all of our cool podcasts. Please do that for us, okay? I'm Michele Forto for DogWorks Radio. See you next time.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by First Paw Coffee Company. Learn more at firstpaw.coffee.
From First Paw Media, this is DogWorks Radio. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we invite you to subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find a link on the episode notes. You can tap or swipe on the episode cover art, and you'll see some offers from our sponsors. You can support our show by supporting them. If you like what you have heard, we would love it if you could give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe too. Your hosts are Robert and Michele Forto. Our producer is Robert Forto and created for First Paw Media. Did you know that Alaska Dog Works trains service dogs for those in need throughout North America? Each and every service dog that is trained through the Lead Dog Service Dog Program and Michele Forto and her team has an individual training plan. We train for autistic, mobility, psychiatric, and PTSD for our soldiers for service work. If you know of someone that may need a service dog, please take a moment and check out Alaska Dog Works on social media and at alaskadogworks.com.